Welcome to the Commissioner's Corner. Sorry for the late upload. I know 90% of you guys are already in bed, but it'll be waiting for you all in the morning. Let's go ahead and get started. It's actually just pulling up carpet for 2 hours, and that's still preferable to having to look at Kelsey and I's garbage fantasy football team. Tim moves to 2-1 with this sub 100 point victory. I mean, there was one combined touchdown between all of our position players. Just a bad week for both of us. I decided to make the big brain move of streaming defenses this week and dropping the Broncos. The Broncos scored 17 points. That would have been enough to give Kelsey and I the victory. You're welcome, Tim. Happy birthday. Another week, another skipped loss as he goes to 0-3. Is it too early to judge him now for the Justin Jefferson first overall pick after this 3-point performance? He says he likes his team, but I think he might be the only one. Other than Chase, maybe, who moves to 3-0 after this win. Chase trusted in Cordarrelle Patterson when not many experts were, and he's been rewarded with the RB5 thus far into the season. That plus the top scoring tight end is pretty much why Chase is 3-0. After a big week 1 victory, Ryan has another huge loss, this time to Crikey in the stomp of the week. Crikey had Lamar drop 40 again, but this time the rest of their team got in on the fun as they got the high score of the week. As for Ryan, I mean, Chase Edmonds had 2 touchdowns on 7 touches. That's kind of cool, I guess, but nothing really else to note here as he had the low score of the week. Also, just want to point out that both of these people started defenses with negative scores. It's just a fun little note there. Now, in the inaugural Sherrod Bowl, the elder puts his son in timeout and sends Jeff to 0-3. Jeff has Chubb and CeeDee Lamb have pretty good games, and Chubb is RB1 on the season, but the rest of this team just didn't do much. I feel like it's some sort of accomplishment to have the RB1 and not win a game. We'll see how long Jeff can keep that up. Might be largely in part due to Russell Wilson being QB 23. Off to an extremely cold start. Might be time for Jeff to move on here. Shout out to Big Lou for trying to get some trade action going in our league. I know it's an uphill battle, but I do like the attempt. Now, a battle of the undefeateds between Paul and Brian, and Paul comes out on top. Brian has 4 starting running backs, Eckler, Jones, Harris, and James Robinson, but doesn't seem to know who to start week to week. Maybe he should get involved in those trades and try and make these decisions a little easier for himself. As for Paul, he weathered multiple running back injuries this week and still got the victory, largely in part to his 2 big performances out of his wide receivers. Marquise Brown here had 17 targets this week. And just a little extra information on Marquise Brown for those interested. Paul drafted him with the 60th overall pick. Now, if we hop on back to Kelsey and I's team, with the 62nd overall pick, I drafted Darnell Mooney, who I just dropped. Last up, Brittany moves to 1-2, gets her first win of the season with a win over Zach. Neither of these teams had a player score over 16 points, including their quarterbacks. I'm just looking through this output, and I don't really know what to say. Everyone just kind of did okay. Even the boom bust king himself, Mike Williams, had an 8-point game, just average. Just nothing standing out here. Well, that's it for week 3. It's still a bit early to go into a deep dive on the standings, but we'll get there. Chase and Paul are the 2 undefeateds left so far, but we'll see how many remain next week on the Commissioner's Corner.